New weekend. Let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right. Really excited this morning. So thank you for joining us, for everybody on Facebook Live. If you're a first-time viewer or watcher or a listener, why not do this? Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. Bell notifications when we have important people, and believe me, today we have a very important artist. His name's Tony, by the way, coming out of the band Blacklist Union from LA, and absolutely fantastic band. So thank you for joining us. Sub, well, why not subscribe? Become part of the family. We call it the noise here at Galaxy, simply because it is growing exponentially, and we hear you. We do. We really do. Thumb, well, get epileptic. Like us. You know what I mean. In the meantime, let's kick it off, and we are very proud to be able to present to you Blacklist Union. Here's their first track, Back to Momo. So how are we feeling, my friend? We okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, bro. Thank you.
Nice.
How about yourself?
Oh, yeah, loving this. Absolutely loving this, because this is my kind of music. You know what I mean?
So back to Momo. Momo is a whorehouse in Hollywood, California, an Asian whorehouse.
Okay.
And it's called Momo, and it's kind of like, I had all these failed relationships, and I'd be like, okay, well, I guess it's back to Momo.
Well, you're going to have to send me their email address.
And then the, the guy I wrote that record with, his name was Todd Youth. So he played with Danzig, he played with Ace Frehley, he played with Glenn Campbell. He was in a bunch of hardcore punk rock bands too, called like Agnostic Front, Murphy's Law. But he was my good friend since I was a kid, and he died in 2018. But we did, that record is, I'm so proud of that record. It's such a good rock and roll record,
Very cool. Well, on my behalf, let me tell you, my friend, I'm very humbled to meet you. I really am. Thank you
so much.
Well, thank you for taking the time out to be able to talk to us here in New Zealand. Believe me, we are
of course
very happy to have you. We are a global station. We're in every English-speaking country in the world, and some that aren't, actually. I don't know how that works out, but hey, we'll take it. But having said that, I'll give you some stats, possibly as we go through. As I said, I have a voice in my head. She talks to me, gives me all sorts of funny information, even some questions, and some that I won't ask. Literally, not unless they come with a brewery and a boat, bro. Honest.
All right.
If you used to live in New York, didn't you?
I'm from New York originally, yeah, New York City.
I have a friend of mine who lives in Jersey. She's a psychiatrist, so if you ever need one after this, I can put you onto her. She makes house calls via Skype, so I know you do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Rowan Shaw's joining us. Shimmer Johnson. Nice to have you back, Shimmer. It really is. Wario Hernandez Torres is joining us. Hello, buddy. Nice to have you back. Franco Nanucci's with us, and Lisa Saunders. Hey, yeah. Nice to have you back as well. Today, we've got Tony West from Blacklist Union, and believe me, absolutely fantastic band. Love this band. I really do. And it's growing momentum here at Galaxy. It really is. Let's meet them. That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, absolutely elated. I'm very humbled to meet Tony West, coming out of the band Blacklist Union, and believe me, from the very first moment I heard this band, I went, this is a bit of me. I want to know more. Welcome to Galaxy, Tony.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It is an absolute honour to have you on board, my friend. It really, really is. Now, we've done a little bit of research, and believe me, absolutely fascinated with your style of music. Now, you've been playing since you were pretty much a young fella, really, weren't you?
I mean, pretty much out of the gate, I wanted to play music since I was 5 years old, and I asked my uncle, who's that girl on that poster? And he's like, that's no girl, that's David Bowie, and that was the defining moment of my life.
That's actually quite funny. Would you believe I've actually worked with David Bowie, and I know one of the ladies very, very well that used to be a backup singer for him. Believe me, we're in good company. We really, really are. Now, having said that, sort of along the same lines, believe me, when I was younger, my mother actually took me to see a band, happened to be Gary Glitter, to be honest with you. But
Nice.
in those days I realised very quickly that I could never sing. I would never be able to sing, but I wanted to be involved in music somehow, some way. So I became a radio announcer, I became an engineer, I did front of house and also studio recording. That was my forte, literally, because I knew you don't want to hear me sing. Well, you know, I sing tenor, or maybe 12 miles away from anybody that could possibly put up with me, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Now,
Those are important jobs you got there, man. Everybody needs sound guys and all that stuff. We couldn't exist without you all, so.
well, I got to agree with you. I really, really do. Now, Tony, we opened up the show with Back to Momo. Tell me a little bit about this. Believe me, I'm absolutely fascinated with this track.
I mean, that's one of my favorite tracks on that record. It's the title track, and you know, I explained to you, Momo is a Asian whorehouse in Hollywood, California, that I was known to frequent back before I was married, and you know, be like, oh well, another failed relationship. Well, I guess it's back to Momo. So I wrote that record with a guy named Todd Youth, who's since passed away, and he played with Ace Frehley, he played with Danzig, he played in a couple of hardcore bands, Murphy's Law, Agnostic Front. He was from New York, and a dear, dear friend of mine, and that's a record I'm really proud of.
Well, condolences for that, my friend. It really, really does make an impact here at Galaxy is Back to Momo. It really does. People are requesting it like crazy, especially when we have you playing on a Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening shows. Now,
Nice.
Having said that, I do have a young lady coming out of North Carolina. Her name is Shona. She's saying, Tony, as a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you a talker? But more importantly, do you respond?
Yeah, I mean, we're on all of those things. It's not hard to find us. Just Google Blacklist Union. We're on every single social media site there is. And, you know, if it's not me answering, it's someone in the band or, you know, my assistant, Allison. But, you know, if you want to get to me directly, just tell them, and it shouldn't be a problem.
Very, very cool. And, really? That's his name? Male or female? Male. Jelly Bean is asking, do you have a website? Can we get merch on your website?
Yes, blacklistunion.com. We got all that stuff available for everyone, including, you know, 4 previous releases, some side projects I've done, all kinds of stuff.
And my apologies, it's Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean, sorry about that. But believe me, it's always nice to be able to announce where you can buy merch, and please go to that site, because believe me, it's always nice to be able to pick up a fresh piece of merch, including, now I'm going to say to you, the interview that we had just prior to you, my friend, was actually with the Moonshine Mollies coming out of Canada. If you've got a spare shirt, why not pass me one? I would be more than honoured to be able to wear your brand while I'm doing these interviews, because believe me, people do go and get on the interwebby thing while I'm doing the interview to find out more about the people that I'm wearing and buy product like koozies, guitar picks, merch across the board, you know what I mean? So,
Sure.
I'll get Barbara to give you details on that one.
Okay.
Having said that, breaking bread with the devil, now this sounds like something I would want to do.
Yeah, you know, that's our second release. And that term is a term that I coined, breaking bread with the devil, has nothing to do with the devil. It actually is a term that means inviting the wrong people into your life and into your circle and into your heart. And unfortunately, living in Hollywood, that can be a drastic bad mistake. I'm sure anywhere in the world that's a bad mistake, but I've made that mistake more than most, I believe. And so that's just a term that I've had for a while, breaking up the devil.
Well, I got to let you know right now you've had 517 requests for it since we started playing it. So congratulations there. Here is Blacklist Union coming out of LA and breaking bread with the devil. Yeah. So how you feeling, Tony? You okay?
Yeah, I feel great.
Nice.
I just got to run to the bathroom a second, but I can still hear you and I can still talk. So
it's all good. It's all good. Oh, gosh, I love the Highway to Hell poster. I wonder if it... Good God, what was that?
Nice to meet you. I think... I hope you're enjoying this interview.
Yeah,
Grant's gone quiet.
oh, well, I was just wondering if he's gone to the toilet with the microphone on.
Yes.
You know?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, we can. Very well, you know.
Only on Galaxy.
Yeah. Don't blush,
flush.
it'll sound nice.
Oh, look at this photo. You did mention that, yeah. How long ago is that?
All right, I'm here.
Oh, but that was a long time ago. Jason Alfano was watching. Terry Van Cannon, hello, buddy. Nice to have you on board. Mark Weholdal is watching as well. Nice to have you guys on board. It really, really is. Tony, do you remember Darth Vader?
Darth Vader, from Star Wars?
Yeah, remember him?
Yeah, of course.
You remember that sword thing he had, the lightsaber thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like this thing here. Believe me, it's Barbara and her device. I've got to move quickly, otherwise I might lose a limb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no worries.
If you see it flashing in front of the screen,
Duck.
yeah. Well, I'll have to duck anyway.
No, that's for golf.
No, that's for golf. It really is. 23 seconds. Let's do it. Thank you.
Galaxy.
That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Let me tune that up a little bit. That's much better. Thank you, guys. Right now, we're talking to Tony West, coming out of the band Blacklist Union. Now, Tony, how did the name come around for the band?
So, my goal with forming Blacklist Union was to get the guys with the worst reputations in town with the best ability, and there's a plethora of us because there's so much politics in LA with the club owners and so forth that, we've definitely been blacklisted in certain clubs and stuff for standing up for ourselves. But so, and the true rock and roll people that I've looked up to, the Bon Scotts, the Scott Weilands, the Axls, they always had an element of danger to them, which is rock and roll to me, man, like the outlaw kind of mentality. And, what better name to describe that than Blacklist Union, a bunch of blacklisted dudes that have united a front, of rock and roll.
I love that idea. Have you ever tried super gluing the furniture to the ceiling yet in a hotel?
No, but John Bonham, he was a carpenter, and that story about how he drilled the furniture on the ceiling of the Hyatt, actually on Sunset, which is infamous. Yeah.
Let me tell you, it actually did happen. It really did. Yeah, that was funny as well. Angus was telling me about it many, many times. He really has. Now, tell me about Letters from the Psych Ward, because this sounds like my second home, and I've never written a letter yet while I've been there.
Letters from the Psych Ward, the song, it's funny because I have two kids, and I was at a therapy session one time, and I said to the therapist, my daughter's mother isn't writing me back. I haven't seen my daughter, this and that. And he goes, why would she? That's like letters from the psych ward. And I went, letters from the psych ward? I was like, that's the name of my next record. See you later. Thank you. So.
And it really is the name of your next record, isn't it?
It is. And, I think a lot of people can relate because the world we live in nowadays, and, you turn on the news with all this craziness going on from shootings to all kinds of political nonsense and all this stuff. It's like we all feel like we're going crazy in this world, and just trying to stay sane, keeping your feet on the ground, and coming from a place of love. Like, it isn't so easy, nowadays. So it's about feeling like losing your mind, trying to stay sane in this mad world we're in.
I totally concur. I really, really do. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Here is Letters from the Psych Ward. So Tony, I ask everybody this. You're not a vegan, are you?
What's that?
You're not a vegan, are you?
A vegan? No.
You're a meatologist like me?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever tried, and believe me, I do ask everybody this, have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
Dude, I've had vegan meats before, and they taste better than real meat sometimes. It's crazy.
That's nice to know, actually. Are they made of real vegans?
What's that?
Are they made of real vegans?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Well, honestly, I was upset when I found out that Girl Guide biscuits weren't made of Girl Guides.
Yeah, right.
True story.
Yes.
True story, bro. I'll let you know about this one. Johnson & Johnson, you know their products, right?
Yeah.
They won't return my emails, they won't return my calls, my letters, anything, because I simply asked the representative how many babies goes in a bottle.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Blacklisted, bro.
I have a couple inappropriate jokes that my tattoo artist friend in Memphis told me. He said, "What's better than winning the Special Olympics?
Okay.
Not being retarded." I was like, wow. And then, what's worse than ants in the pants?
Dunno.
Uncles.
Yeah, well, they could, yeah, true. Well, if you want to go down the retarded deal, I was talking to a very close friend of mine who is a 5-star restaurant chef, right?
Yeah.
I says to him one day, what's the hardest thing that you cook in the kitchen? And he goes, vegetables. I went, know what you mean? Getting the wheelchairs in the oven must be a bitch.
Oh my god.
But don't get me going on vegetable oil, okay?
Yeah.
That's a whole different deal. It really is. Imagine reducing them down. It's like babies in a bottle. Oh, dear. As I said, if you need a psychiatrist after the end of this, I fully know somebody who can help out.
Yeah.
I really do. I find a bit of humour in these goes a long way as well. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, well, look at the face. Believe me, I'm only 21. This is what radio does for you. Okay. Did you guys fall asleep or something? Come on, guys, catch up. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're talking to Tony West from the band Blacklist Union, coming out of LA. Now, you were brought up in New York. Why the heck did you go to LA?
I mean, that's where everybody thought the music was happening. The music scene was happening, and it was for a little while when I came out here, but certainly not anymore. There was this whole movement of music, especially when I was a kid coming out of LA. So we just thought the grass was greener over here.
Okay, okay. Well, I got to be honest with you. I've been to LA a couple of times myself, even flew into Burbank and places like that. But we played in a place in New York. Not sure whether you'd be familiar with it. It was called The Garden.
Yeah, the Madison Square Garden, yeah.
Yeah, we played there. Literally packed the house too, by the way. And the next night after that, apparently there was the wrestling thing going on, so we stayed on to watch that as well. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah. Love that building. Really, really do. It's iconic now, apparently.
I mean, I saw my first concert was there. I saw AC/DC there. Last summer I was in New York. I saw Duran play. That was great. Who opened for them again? Oh man, I can't think of the guy's name. He sang in. Oh, Niles Rodgers. Niles Rodgers opened for Duran Duran. He was amazing. You know.
Okay. Well, we played with another Australian band that had 4 letters to its name too. That wasn't AC/DC. You might be able to figure that one out. It starts with an I and ends with an X. Literally, we filled the arena there and absolutely had a blast. We really, really did. Having said that, nobody got married or anything like that, so there was no until death do us part kind of deal. But you have a deal, till death do us part. Tell me about this, because I love the lyrics in this.
Yeah, you know, that's a heavy song. The first 3 Blacklist Union releases were very much about casting out darkness, from addiction to the deaths of many people I loved, man. And I was in a very dark place during that record. In fact, I don't remember really writing or recording it, although from what people say, I was the one that did. But, you know, God or whatever, the universe, with my legion of angels that I have, you know, I trusted in that and kept moving forward through the darkness, because, you know, to get to the light, you have to walk through the darkness. And that's basically what that song and that whole record is about.
You know, I get it. I really, really do. So, ladies and gentlemen, with pride, here is Blacklist Union, till death do us part. Tony, do you remember William Shatner?
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Kirk? Yeah. I see in the news this morning that the government has made him recall all of his lingerie.
Yeah. The U.S. government's nuts, dude. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they've told him you got to take it off. Apparently Shatner panties isn't a good name.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Stephen John Ireland is joining us. E. Wolfgang de Bread. Hello, buddy man. Nice to have you back. How's Raglan?
And we had Steve Lynch earlier.
We did have Steve Lynch earlier on, yes.
Yeah.
Steve Lynch is a legendary guitarist for the band Autograph.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Bo Gregory's joining us. Chris Andreas, absolute brilliant artist in his own right. Brian Toll. Brian.
From the Henrys.
From the Henrys. We love the Henrys. We really, really do. Great band. It really is. Folks, go and check out the Henrys. You won't go wrong. You really won't. We're going to end the show with the Queen of Everything. Now, believe me, folks, this is making huge amounts of requests here at Galaxy. It really, really is. I'm excited to be able to finally release it publicly, because we've actually kept it. You know, we've been playing it, just haven't said anything, really. Wanted to see how it went. Honestly, Tony, our receptionist just went, what the heck's going on? Because it really did foul up our systems there for a couple of hours.
Nice. That's awesome.
Everybody wanted to know more about the song, about you, about the band itself. We got the whole gambit, mate. We really did. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful. That's amazing.
At the same time, of course, Barbara is a hard rocker in her own right. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
we don't get enough this style, simply because, and believe me, it's got to tick a lot of boxes before we even get close to doing an interview. You know what I mean? And
Right.
we
Most of them are
take
too
pride
heavy.
on telling everybody that we only play the best in the world, and we do. We really do.
Nice. Thank you so much.
It's,
You mentioned In Excess before. You know, on the Till Death Do Us Part record, we covered "Don't Change" on there.
really? Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll have to get the crew to go and download a copy of that because,
Yeah.
believe me, it's one of my favourite songs actually of In Excess. You know, it really is. I was with him the day that he ended up having an accident. You know what I mean?
And that's somebody that, like, you don't hear he was so big when I was a kid, like, and you don't really hear a lot of people talking about him, at least in the States, you know, and he was such a huge impact. Like, Michael Hutchence was so cool and such a big impact. I mean, In Excess was huge, you know?
It was. In fact, former friend of mine, well, I say former is because we live in two different countries and we don't catch up as much as we should, is now the lead singer for them.
Yeah.
Galaxy FM.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. You guys are playing with me now, you really are. It is 11 away from 12 o'clock and 23 degrees downtown. So much for the weatherman's prediction this morning. He didn't stand a chance. Nick, 19 degrees over in the UK. Sorry, you didn't either, and neither did Barbara. We always knew it was going to be 20 plus and not 20. It is Friday, May 26th, so very, very happy to have everybody joining us this morning. And I'm very elated to make friends with a young man by the name of Tony West, who is vicariously the lead singer of the band Blacklist Union. Now, Tony, I know we're going to be releasing the Queen of Everything right now. Officially, as far as Galaxy is concerned, we haven't really said much about it. But before we do, anything new coming out in the near future?
Letters from the Psych Ward is the second single that we released, and actually the Queen of Everything was the first, but we do have another single coming out after about a month or so called Dirty Halo, which I'm very excited about, and we just shot a video for that. And then the full release, Letters from the Psych Ward full release, comes out in September.
That's fantastic. Believe me, would you consider coming back for another interview, being able to release this next new track with us?
Absolutely, anytime.
Absolutely brilliant. And believe me, I do have that psychiatrist on the quick dial list if you need it. I really do. Now, the Queen of Everything. Now, I got to be honest with you, this is knocking it out of the park right now. 2,177 requests and climbing. What's the secret to the success of this? Believe me, I'm loving this track.
You know, the secret to the success of any song, I think, is authenticity and realness, you know, and sincerity, you know. This is about my wife, who is the queen of my everything, and many people have their queen of everything, you know, so a lot of people can relate to that. You know, I've had my share of, you know, bad relationships just like everyone else, but, you know, when I found the one where I can like, oh, this works, this is going to be great, you know, and, you know, opening up your heart and making yourself vulnerable is not easy, especially in today's world, you know, but what else are we going to do? We're spiritual beings having human experiences. Like we have to open up our hearts. We have to lead. I mean, for me, I have to lead with my heart, man. You know what I mean? So that's what that song's about.
You know, I fully understand that. I really, really do. And congratulations. It is just the start here at Galaxy for Blacklist Union. Really, really is. Here is the Queen of Everything. ours that has a magazine coming out of India. He comes out of Bangalore and in India, about 8 million people in his region alone. I've got to be honest, I think he knows each and every one of them by first name. He's really popular. But
Yeah.
this is a well put together magazine, and we put only the best of the best into it. Can we forward your information to Jay?
Sure. No problem.
Nice. Believe me, it's about promoting Blacklist Union, you know what I mean? And
Okay.
I was
we'd love to
thinking
do that.
maybe I'll try and get them on the cover.
try and get them on the cover.
Yeah.
Woo, that's big.
Yeah.
That really is big. Believe me, I talk to people all the time, Tony, and I get critics who tell me all sorts of, what they like, what they don't like. A lot of them are touting this magazine literally as the next Rolling Stone. You know what I mean?
Nice.
It's very, very cool. Lots of people read it. It is an online magazine. It's not a physical hard copy.
There's none of
But there
those
has been a
anymore
couple
anyway.
rare hard copies made. We've also got a column in there, you know what I mean? So
Okay.
I would love Barbara to be able to put it together so that you meet Jay and exchange information, all that sort of stuff. I think he'll ask for a very short video that he puts on all the medias as well, and
Okay.
get you featured in there. If Barbara can get you on on the cover, holy hell, that would be a big thing. It really would.
Yeah, make a good cover. Guy.
She actually got the Mollies on the cover.
I did.
So you
Nice.
did well. But we absolutely love your work.
Look
We
cool
love
on
your
the
band. We
cover.
want to be able to get behind you and
Look cool on
promote
the
you
cover.
as much as possible. I do have one question though. Would you do me a couple of voice drops saying, "Hi, it's Tony
Yeah.
from," and pass them our way? We would love to be able to get them on there. The more times people hear your name, hear your voice, and hear who you are, the more times they go and check you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Nice. Awesome. Platzomatic is joining us as well. He's coming up for an interview very, very shortly too. The White House. See, I know who Platzomatic is. I do. Samantha Sheldon's joining us as well. Nice. Samantha Sheldon,
Yeah.
Eubanks.
Tony, he's popular, Blacklist Union.
Oh,
today.
yeah, absolutely. And becoming more and more popular by the minute, literally. There's a huge amount of people that love Tony and Blacklist Union. 158,000 Facebook followers. That is amazing. Now he's going to have 300.
Who's gonna-
I'm sorry. Honestly, bro. Do you actually respond to people that do get in touch with you, text you and stuff like that?
I mean, if I don't myself, my assistant will, or someone else in the band. But I would say a lot of the times I respond, especially if it's some of these messages I get, man, are so beautiful, and they what keep me going. Is when
Tony, hang in there for a second.
Galaxy FM.
Sorry for cutting you off there, my friend. Believe me, it is fascinating to find out that people do actually respond to everybody on Facebook. I don't. Literally, I really don't. I actually have people do that for me, and believe me, it's just the job that I'm doing at the moment. I start work about 10:30 at night, and I might be lucky to finish about 5 o'clock at night. It is such a busy place around here at Galaxy. I never get a chance. So I actually do have people respond for me, but sometimes you just never know. It might be me picking up my phone and going, "Hey, nice to see you again." You know what I mean? Does happen. So it's always fascinating. But the problem now is everybody's going to get in touch with you. You're never going to have enough time in the day because you'll be responding all the time. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
That's fantastic. It really, really is. How do you manage 158,000 people on Facebook? How did you do that?
I mean, we've been around for a minute now, and Letters from the Psych Ward is actually going to be our 5th release. So, we started Blacklist Union in 2004, and the first record came out in 2006. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Believe me, I've got the bio. And I've got to congratulate you too. Believe me, we need more information about artists and bands and everything as much as possible. So it makes my job that much easier. You know what I mean? To be able to get the information, to be able to do a full interview with you. We're not a podcast. We're not. We're instant. We're live. You can interact. You really, really can. Podcasts, unfortunately, are edited and take a week to do. Yeah. That's not interaction at all, believe me. But it is the Jerry Springer of radio right now. So, Tony, we are going to have to move on right now, but I just got one more thing to ask you. Have you ever been a cartoon before?
Have I been a cartoon? No. I've had people draw me as a cartoon, but never in a cartoon.
Okay,
But
well,
I would love to.
you're going to be now, Tony. Believe me, after we do this, please don't go anywhere because the staff are going to rush the monitors, take photos, and, well, Barbara's going to put it all together in a movie. You'll get a copy of everything. You really, really will. And
Yes.
I apologise now, I'm going to be honest with you. But what I say to people literally is when you get it, show it to people you don't like.
Okay.
No, I mean this seriously because believe me, not only is it a good boast, I've got to be honest with you, which is brilliant for us, but it does get a fire under people's butts, and before you know it, they're getting themselves into action and coming on our show as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it works, it's round swings and roundabouts and all that sort of stuff. It works really, really well. In the meantime, you can always say, here, look at this is what I did. When are you going to do it? You know what I mean?
Sure thing.
Love that idea, really, really do. Steve Lindsay's joining us. Nice to have you on board, Steve. Cheryl Schofield. And Nia Ederson.
He's from Beautiful Skeletons.
Oh, okay, from Beautiful Skeletons. Love Tina too, by the way. Looking forward to meeting you guys in the very, very near future. And Francesca, we love you too. We really do. Keep up the good work, Fran, please, because you have such a talented list of bands. We want to know more. We do, including Blacklist Union. So, sir, thank you so much. Looking forward to building a relationship with Blacklist Union, with yourself, and possibly the rest of the band as well. But in the meantime, don't go anywhere. We are going to do a few photos. As I said, I apologise now. For everybody else, that's us for the day and for the week. Have a very happy and successful weekend. I'll be back on Monday. We'll be doing more interviews on Tuesday with Barbara. See you then.
Galaxy 107 FM.